It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singapore.
Old is gold, and Gold FM is #1 here in Lusaka.
Singapore loves classic hits on Gold FM.
Listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Bang.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lotoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In this bulletin, all leave for doctors and nurses cancelled due to dengue. We talk to the new military land force commander. And Vatican rep meets Fijian government officials. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The Ministry of Health is now calling the dengue outbreak an epidemic and has recalled all doctors and nurses currently on leave. The National Advisor on Communicable Diseases, Dr. Mike Kama, says they are now working to ensure that hospitals and health centres do not run out of supplies. Vosita Kotewasawasa reports.
Since last October, the number of dengue cases has increased significantly to 9,825. The Health Ministry says the outbreak is caused by dengue type 3 that has not been seen in Fiji for many years.
It has moved on, expanded across to the Western Division. We have also cases in the Northern Division. The epicenter, though, remains in Suva. We have areas in Vale Levu, Makoi, and also Samambula that is largely affected by this outbreak. And also in Nausori. We have areas in the Western Division in Nandi and Ba and also Lotoka.
There have been 8 confirmed deaths so far, including 4 children, the youngest only a 2-month-old and the eldest 17. Dr. Devina Nand highlighted how a person gets infected with dengue fever.
Once a mosquito bites a person with dengue, the virus gets into the mosquito and breeds within the mosquito itself. So when this infected mosquito bites another person, the virus spreads to the next person. And this mosquito can bite many people and infect them.
The Health Ministry has strongly advised against the uses of painkillers when patients contract dengue. Dr. Elikinanovu says this can cause bleeding within the infected person.
When this is not a time for Brufen or Indosit, we should avoid those painkillers. The body pain is because of the cause of the disease, and the only painkiller we advise for now is paracetamol or Panadol that can help in the fever also. Any other pains or fever in between your dose of Panadol every 6 hours should come with cold sponging and other things.
Dr. Nand highlighted that with dengue fever, it can go either way. People can recover or lose their battle against the disease.
The critical period is when the fever disappears. And once the fever disappears, the person can either get better and recover totally, or as we have seen in Fiji, in this particular epidemic and outbreak, the patient can really drastically go the other way and get very, very sick or die.
The Public Service Commission has declared a national cleanup campaign to reduce the mosquito density following a decision by Cabinet. Pusita Kotiwasawasa, FBC News.
The 2013 Constitution and Legal Ethics Workshop for the Legal Aid Commission ended today. The 2-day gathering was facilitated by Madam Nazat Shamim. It re-highlighted the conduct of legal practitioners, and there were discussions on the 2013 Constitution. The workshop was closed by Attorney General Aisaid Qayyum.
If you do not respect the court, then the court does not have much mana. It does not have the level of respect. So when it hands down decisions, nobody will take it seriously. If you have lawyers sitting there and chewing gum and not wearing their jackets or wig and gowns, then obviously it diminishes that particular institution. In the same way, if you do not have that respect for the legislature, you will diminish that respect and dignity.
The special envoy of Pope Benedict XVI to the Pacific is optimistic about a bright future for Fiji. This is Nuncio Martin Krebs' summary of his meetings with the President Ratu Epeli Nailatikau and senior government officials in the last 2 days. Mikalonga reports.
Nuncio Martin Krebs was briefed on various developments the country is embarking on.
This is a country which is preparing good surprises. The future could be one of good surprises.
The German-born Archbishop says he had a very fruitful meeting with the Fijian government and he will tell it like it is to Pope Benedict XVI.
A young nation facing challenges and preparing good surprises.
The Vatican had one message for Fiji, though. It wants the country to dig deeper for solutions that can bring about positive change to the country and its people.
Let's go beyond the surface of conflicts. Many things have different colors, at least gray, well mixed, and let's go beyond the surface, and then what we see inspires us to respect the dignity of one another.
Nuncio Krebs has still not gotten over the welcome accorded to him upon his arrival on Wednesday. For those present, his visitation will be a memorable one.
Well, it was an honor and privilege. When I shake his hand, I know that I'm shaking his Holy Father, as he represents the Holy Father from Rome.
My faith increased to another level after meeting him, and it just goes to show that wherever we are, the representatives of the Pope will come.
Nuncio Krebs returns to New Zealand on Sunday, where he's based. Mikalonga, FBC News.
The newly appointed Land Force Commander of the Military Forces says the Commander RFMF has the full support of the Army. Lieutenant Colonel Chone Kaloniwai has been appointed to take over from newly appointed Military Commander Brigadier General Mosese Tikoitonga. Apisalome Thoka visited the camp today and has the story.
Military Commander Brigadier General Moses Tikoitonga has the full support of the RFMF.
There's always the support. The support with the Commander RFMF to Brigadier General Tikoitonga is everywhere. With all the troops, with all the units, both locally and overseas, and also with the territorial force. And I'm sure those officers that have retired have the support with Brigadier General Tikoitonga as his appointment to Commander RFMF.
Kaloniwai says the appointment of Brigadier Tikoitonga as the Commander RFMF did not come as a surprise.
When there was a talk of the change of command within the RFMF, we were expecting the current commander, Brigadier General Tikoitonga, to take up the appointment. He's a very capable officer, and we are all very happy and proud to have him as our commander and to serve with him.
The man from Lomanikoro village in Rawa says he was surprised when he was appointed Land Force Commander yesterday.
I was never expecting an appointment. I was more looking at hoping to go for a stint with the UNDOF in Syria.
Kaloniwai says the appointment of the Commander Land Force is an important appointment to the RFMF. He says he now faces the challenge of meeting the expectations of the men and women of the RFMF and the nation at large. Apisalome Thoka, FBC News.
The government is awaiting word from Timor-Leste to dispatch Fijian volunteers to serve there. Timor-Leste is the latest country to express interest in Fiji's volunteer scheme, which re-employs retirees for their skills and expertise. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
An agreement which will allow Fiji volunteers to be dispatched to Timor-Leste has been signed.
We have already completed the first steps, which is the signing of the agreement, where the parties have committed to the terms and conditions of Fiji Volunteer Service, the regional component, in the manner in which we will dispatch the volunteers, what will be provided by them, and what we will provide.
Timor-Leste has expressed interest in getting English teachers and also health workers. Fijian authorities are awaiting further instruction.
As soon as we receive a request, we will go out seeking expressions of interest and identifying suitable candidates for the assignments.
If it benefits them, then I don't see any reason why retirers shouldn't go, rather than just sitting here and not doing anything.
I think the retirees should go because they got a lot of experience.
Parmesh Chand says the Fiji volunteer scheme has served its purpose well in the region.
We have had, of course, the scheme grow from initially Marshall Islands to Nauru, to Vanuatu, and now we're working with Tuvalu. We have had Solomon Islands also expressing interest, and Kiribati.
While the current lot of volunteers sent overseas are retirees, the Public Service Commission is now looking into sending youths to island nations where Fijian skills and expertise are needed. The PSC is currently working with the Ministry of Youth in this regard. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, women get ready to celebrate their day.
Bulan 2 sa Tolu FM, 82 raki-raki.
Bula FM 62 Inosor.
Go etapo ke boto kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM 82 Korbu.
Bula FM 62 Sawa.
Bula FM 62 Lotoka. Bula.
82 Bula FM member.
Bula FM
62 NSR in Singapore.
Talitak na warong ng Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warong Bula FM 62 NSR.
Bula FM 62 NSR.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Social Democratic Party has finally chosen its leader, Rote Mumukepa. Her leadership was announced this afternoon amongst a strong show of support by the Fiji Labour Party and the National Federation Party. Apisolamithoka reports.
Finally confirmed after months of doubt and speculations, Sodelpa has chosen its most influential member as its leader. Rote Mumu's support comes not only from within Sodelpa, but also from former bitter rivals, the Fiji Labour Party and the National Federation Party.
Of the United Front for Democratic Fiji. And what you see this afternoon is some form of culmination of that partnership which we have tried to develop in the last 2 years. It's a very positive sign for the country and for the people, and I hope that people will support us. Here for the last 2 years, there is an understanding between the parties. As the leader of Sodelpa said, we'll be fighting the election on our own. But once again, I repeat, we have an understanding and we'll be working with that understanding.
However, Rote Mumu's speech clearly indicates that any political partnership between her party, FLP and NFP will be led by Sodelpa.
We shall go into the elections, ladies and gentlemen, as individual parties, but Sodelpa owes it to the people, as the party that aims to win the majority of seats in the elections, to bring our nation together. Cabinet can operate most effectively if it enjoys the confidence of all communities in our multicultural society. So this afternoon, I again send messages of goodwill from Sodelpa to the leaders of the Fiji Labour Party, the National Federation Party, and our people and our friends from the People's Democratic Party.
Sodelpa has even got a plan of what it intends to do in its first 100 days if successful in the elections.
To demonstrate our commitment to serving everyone and all communities in Fiji, Sodelpa will resume the multi-party cabinet, which our predecessor, the SDL party, had started with the Fiji Labour Party in 2006, following the general elections in May that year.
Sodelpa says names of party candidates who will contest the elections will be announced later. Apisola Medoka, FBC News.
Thousands of events will be held around the world tomorrow to mark the International Women's Day, a day to inspire women and celebrate their achievements. Shireen Latta spoke to some people on what this day means to them.
International Women's Day is celebrated every year on the 8th of March. While its origin lies in the early 1900s, this day still holds importance.
To me, International Women's Day is a day we remember women who are facing difficulties around the world, and this is where Christian women in Fiji get together in prayer.
It's a national observance in many countries. Some cities may host various wide-scale events such as street march. Various women are usually invited to speak at various events such as seminars, conference, as well as specially organized dinners or breakfasts.
People should seriously think about the roles women play in their homes, and they need to be assisted.
In its own celebration today, the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation treated women on staff to morning tea.
A day to celebrate the lives of women in the past and at present who struggle to fight for equality and probably share the hardships they go through.
To all women is that you have to be strong in all the situations you come over.
Well, it means calls for challenging the status quo for women's equality and inspiring positive change.
Women play an important role in families as wives, daughters, mothers and grandmothers, but are also major players in business, politics, all other aspects of modern life. Tomorrow is a day to commemorate the achievement of women, recognize their aspiration for true equality, and inspire them to achieve their goals. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
The national gender policy was launched last night at the Holiday Inn in Suva. Fiji's Goodwill Ambassador for Women, Naza Chamim, says this is yet another significant step in the nation's progress toward meaningful gender equality. The policy aims to improve the quality of life of men and women, boys and girls at all levels of society through the promotion of gender equity and equality. It will be translated into the vernacular languages and will be posted on the Ministry of Information website and also incorporated into the education curriculum. It was a busy day in the Lautoka High Court with a drug smuggling and 2 murder cases on the dock. Akosita Tale has more.
This morning, the High Court has denied the request of 60-year-old U.S. citizen Gregory Wilcox for access to a phone to call his family and to the internet, which he says has information for his defense. Wilcox, who is alleged to have brought in 3.79 kilograms illicit drug methamphetamine into the country in January. The court reminded Wilcox that all remanded prisoners are not granted such request. However, once he has legal representation, his request will be considered. Because his representatives from legal aid were not in court today, he has been further remanded to March 14th. Also appearing before Justice De Silva today was 35-year-old Talat Mohamud, charged with murder in the death of his aunt at Nakabu settlement in Nandi late last month. It is alleged she was stabbed during an argument with Mohamud after he told her of his affair with her daughter. Mohamud wanted to plead not guilty to his charges, but his plea was denied as the court has not received his full disclosure. He will reappear on March 14. And in another case, a 22-year-old woman charged with murder in the deaths of a mother and a 7-month-old baby also appeared at the Lautoka High Court this morning. Darshini allegedly killed Taofa Patolo and a 7-month-old baby Sarah at their home in Visese in December. Patolo's 3 other daughters were also stabbed, but they survived the brutal attack. The state requested more time, saying they only had just received the 7-month-old baby's medical report and are still awaiting the post-mortem results. Priya Darshini will represent herself against 2 counts of murder and 3 counts of attempted murder. She reappears in court on March 14. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
And here's Jamie now with sports.
Good evening. The Mara Sevens kicked off today with a lot of action on offer at Lauthala. And while national coach Ben Ryan was impressed with the talent on display, there was one person he was not so pleased with. Find out more after the break.
Bato Bahe, Bame Radio Fiji 2 के कौन सा के रोके ऑनलाइन क्लियर
रेडियो फीजी 2 रगरगी के लोग ज्यादा सुनते हैं
नैनी में हम सबकी पसंद रेडियो फीजी 2
तालेबू के लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 सबसे ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं
मेरी पसंद रेडियो फीजी 2 रसोरी में सभी को पसंद रेडियो फीजी 2
टावा में रेडियो फीजी 2 सभी कोई सुनते हैं
रेडियो फीजी 2
रेडियो फीजी 2 आई लव यू
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Pio Tuai defied orders of national coach Ben Ryan and played one game for his Tokotoka Resort Westfield Barbers side in the Fiji Betamara Sevens today. The lanky forward was denied any further part in the tournament as Ryan hopes to have the veteran ready for the upcoming Tokyo and Hong Kong Sevens. Other than that, the mentor has been impressed by what he's seen so far and will get a clearer picture of his final squad by tomorrow. Talin Daudakadaka reports.
Coach Ben Ryan was not happy that Pio Tuai undermined the decision to sit out the Mari Sevens and focus on his rehab.
He was one of the three players that still hasn't quite recovered from injury, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, he ran onto the field for a couple of minutes in the first game, but that's been sorted out now, and we can finish his rehabilitation program properly, so give him a chance of putting his hand up for selection.
It was an action-packed day one, with teams leaving no stone unturned to make the cup eliminations.
Haven't finished the day yet, and it's been a very long day of watching rugby and scooting around the three pitches to try to see as many players as I can. And you know, hopefully as we get to the knockout stages now, I'll see some really good games where it'll be a good balance of teams fighting against each other. So, no, it's been good.
One former national skipper knows all too well the pressure that is placed on players during the renowned tournament to earn a call-up to the national squad.
At this tournament, new names can pop up into the training squad, so players have to prove themselves according to the criteria that has been set on them.
The first round of eliminations will run until 9 p.m. tonight and will continue from tomorrow morning. All teams will be hungry for the top prize, as well as have their name called out when Ryan's squad is announced after the final. Salendo Dakavak, FBC Sports.
The Fiji hockey under-18s have slapped themselves into tournament mode in Vanuatu. They arrived in Port Vila yesterday, and today was their only chance to settle in ahead of their five-a-side openers against New Zealand in the Youth Olympic qualifiers tomorrow. Elena McDonald has more.
The time has come to put into practice what's been taught at training. With two teams in their pool, the Fiji women stand a good chance of booking a spot to China in August.
If there's an indication of the girls' performance against the Australian under-21 last December, defeating the Australian under-21s, I'm positive that if we have the same mindset, we'll go out there and do the same thing in Vanuatu.
Regardless of the outcomes at the tournament, Fiji hockey wants to build a lasting legacy.
If we can nurture them from now on and push them up into the HPU section, which is run by our head coach, Hector Smith, who has been helping us so much in the last few months of our training, I think will be a team to be reckoned with in the future.
The Fiji women play first at 9:30 on Saturday morning against New Zealand. Their second game on day one is against the hosts at 4 o'clock. The men begin their point-to-prove campaign against the Kiwis at 1:30 in the afternoon. It's time for the juniors to shine, and considering the hard yards done so far, let's just hope they do. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The country's first sushi train restaurant will soon open at the Damodar City Complex. Sakura Sushi Train is the latest tenant to the complex, and the owner promises to offer a totally different and easy way of dining out. Catherine Tang says they will provide fresh and healthy variety food choices with simple and fast services.
We have designed the big table in the middle, in the center of our restaurant, so that will be only one big table. We'll have a kitchen at the back, but our chef will be working in the middle of the table inside, which customers is sitting around the table. So our Sakura Sushi Train, there's another name, is Conveyor Belt Sushi, also called Sushi Go Round. It's like sushi's placed, you can see the photo, sushi's placed on this moving conveyor belt, and chefs serving inside, and customer will easily, simply select the sushi while it moves in front of them.
Sushi trains are popular abroad, providing a wide selection of choices constantly on offer to the customer. weather time now, and Jen, how's it going?
As well as can be expected, Jackie, we had a bit of sunshine in the morning for the northern and western divisions before everyone eventually succumbed to showers and clouds in the afternoon. Looking at temperatures, we've got Ba on 34, our highest temperature for the day, while the Jet Set Town and the Hidden Paradise are the lowest on 31. If you've got a game on tomorrow, or anything sporty really, keep in mind that showers are forecast throughout the country in the afternoon. Southeast winds will be at 10 to 15 knots, winds turning northeast later today. Speaking of sports, and this is a first for us on weather, here's some footage courtesy of my friend Indra in the newsroom. These spectators didn't let the not-so-perfect conditions get them down while out and about at the Mara Sevens.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Before we leave our main stories again, dengue fever now an epidemic, military appoints new land force commander, and Vatican rep happy with Fiji's progress. This week's poll question we're asking, should people be penalized for not adhering to weather advisories? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's it from the team and me for the week. Be sure to join Amrita Priyadashini from tomorrow with the weekend news. I'll be back again on Monday. Until then, you have yourselves a safe and enjoyable weekend. Nimo the Mamba.
Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story, and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Televu.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in Asino.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki.
Everybody in Singapore loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Today's hit music on Today FM.